Hey guys, welcome to this week's Friday Focus. Today I want to talk about some study tips and tricks. So, first exam is in the books, and if you did well, awesome. Do not take your foot off the gas. Keep working hard. If this is stuff that you saw from high school and you're like, yeah, it was easy, I've seen this before, still don't take your foot off the gas. Watch this video because things are about to get more complicated. They're going to get a lot harder than what you maybe have been exposed to in high school. If you didn't do as well in this exam as you would have liked, that's okay. My advice to you would be to change something. Don't keep doing the same thing and expect to get different results. It could be something small, it could be something big, but change at least one thing and see what that does. So here's just some advice that I have for you guys as far as how I would approach the week for chemistry, and see if this is what you're doing or if it's something that maybe you need to switch up a little bit. So here's Module 3. This is the module we're working on right now. So study plan. In here, you'll find kind of a checklist of all of the things that need to be done. I would focus right here. I posted videos for each of the modules. I would have access to the PowerPoint while you're watching my video and take notes as if you were in class. So I would set aside some time early in your week and sit down and say, you know what, during this time, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to take chemistry lecture. And just set that time aside, plan it in your planner like you would a normal class. Once you've watched the video, you've taken notes, if there's anything that you need help outside of that, that's when I would turn to the textbook and maybe read for clarification or find somebody else talking about the same material, hear a different voice. I think that's great as well. The next thing I would do is I would go to the homework. Treat the homework like practice. Try not to use your notes, but if you need to, that's fine. Refer to the notes, click on the link to the textbook, whatever you need to do to get through the homework. Once you've taken the notes, understand the material, you've practiced a little bit with the homework, then I would go to the quiz. I would treat this quiz like a test. This is your test run. This is your scrimmage, if you will. Put all your notes away, have just your calculator out, get into that quiz and say, okay, I'm going to make my mistakes now so that I don't make them on the test. And then I would take that like you were taking your test. And if you struggle with something, you struggle with something. Now you know you need to go and study that a little bit more. Okay. The lab, I would do the lab up here with the homework. So I would complete that before your quiz, but maybe after your homework. So I would go into the lab with some sort of understanding of what's being taught that chapter. And then you can apply that knowledge to the lab. You can make connections maybe that weren't being made with the homework. You can have a couple aha moments. That's kind of the purpose of the lab. So I would do that after your homework, before your quiz, and really use that just as a bridge to like, oh, I really do understand this material. Okay. So going back to where I told you about the lecture video. So here's the link to my PowerPoints. I would have access to these. Here's the link to my lecture videos. I would sit down and take notes as if you were in a face-to-face class, maybe on the PowerPoints or on a notebook. But that's how I would approach learning for those. Lastly, I would make sure you don't miss these animations down here at the bottom. Some of what we talk about, especially with getting into electrons and quantum mechanics, is a little bit kind of out of our reach. And I think some of these animations could do a really good job of kind of bringing them back down to earth and giving you something to really bite into and understand. So don't sleep on these animations. I think they're a great resource for you guys to have. So again, if you did well on the test, awesome. Keep working hard. If you didn't do as well on this test as you had hoped, change something and see if that is an improvement for you. I hope you guys found this helpful.